Welcome back to What to Watch. I'm Brittany McLean, and I'm joined, as always, by Jesse Campagato, who's CBC Sports writer of The Buzzer, which is the daily newsletter that keeps you up to date with everything you need to know in the world of sport. And now we like to break it a bit down for you, so we're going to start off with one storyline that happens to have a bit of extra Canadian pride. Some of the skaters will have a bit of home ice advantage. Jesse, tell us more.
Yeah, Britt. So the Speed Skating World Cup Tour comes to Calgary this week. So the last time everybody was in Calgary was at the Single Distances World Championships last year. And Canadians did great there. They won 10 medals, which was a national record. And the only country that won more medals there was the Netherlands, which of course is the number one country in speed skating. So that was great for Canada. As for this weekend, the Canadian to watch, let's go with Ivani Blondin. So she's accounted for 3 out of Canada's 6 medals on the World Cup Tour this season. That includes an individual gold, and she also won a silver in the women's team pursuit with Isabel Weidman and Valerie Maltese. And of course, that was the trio that won Olympic gold a few years ago in Beijing. And then, of course, we also have to mention the great young American skater Jordan Stoltz. So a couple years ago, when he was 18, he became the youngest champ in the history of the single distances worlds. And then last year in Calgary, he won all 3 of his individual events for the 2nd straight year. And he's really dominating again on the World Cup Tour this season. So he's now won 4 gold medals at 4 straight World Cup events going back to last season. So if you don't know the name Jordan Stoltz yet, you're going to be hearing a lot of it for sure next year at the Olympics in Italy.
Yeah, and speaking of notable names, rumor has it that a certain Andre de Grasse is returning to competition this week. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so Andre is going to be making his 2025 debut at a World Athletics Tour indoor event in Kazakhstan, and he's running the 60 meters there. So the world's best sprinters, they use these indoor 60-meter races this time of year as kind of a warm-up, part of their training actually for the outdoor season that's coming up, which this year is going to culminate with the World Championships in September in Tokyo. So for this weekend, I'd say the stakes aren't particularly high, but it's Andre's first race of the year, and in fact, it's his first one since that glorious 4x100 meter relay win at the Olympics, which I think when we're done here, I'm probably going to go back and watch for like the 700th time. So the other great thing about this race too is Andre is going to be going up against Jamaica's Kashane Thompson. So of course, he was the guy who won the 100-meter silver at the Olympics in that great photo finish with Noah Lyles. So definitely a matchup to keep an eye on there.
And if we take the speed of some of these athletes and combine it with a bit more danger, we might have some similar storylines to the alpine skiing on the men's side this weekend. They go to take on the most dangerous hill in the world, which is Kitzbühel. And we have a nice feature CBC Sports did on YouTube page, and we'll tease it here for you now.
Kitzbühel is definitely intimidating.
You get your adrenaline going.
It's insane.
There's no other race like it.
It's an indescribable feeling.
So precise, so intense.
Has every aspect of a downhill.
It's the best course in the world.
I'm looking through the tips of my skis and it drops off there into a cliff.
Yeah, so I do not envy those guys this weekend. Like they said, Kitzbühel is the most dangerous course in alpine skiing. That also, though, makes it probably the most revered race. So if you can win this downhill, you win the respect of everybody in the alpine world. So that's a big one. One more thing I wanted to mention, Britt, is some of the best skiers, freestyle skiers and snowboarders are going to be at the Winter X Games in Aspen, Colorado, where they're going to be testing out this new AI judging system. So apparently the robots are coming for everybody, Britt.
Hopefully they don't come for our jobs, but I am curious to find out how accurate this judging is, so we'll have to stay tuned. Speaking of stay tuned, there are tons of things you need to keep an eye on this weekend. As mentioned, speed skating will be all weekend long here on CBC Sports. Alpine skiing, the men take on Kitzbühel. That is also all weekend. And then there's a diving national championships that will be streaming at 10 a.m. both Saturday and Sunday. As always, if you're not already subscribed to Jesse's newsletter, make sure you do so by searching The Buzzer CBC online and entering your email. You'll receive that in your inbox every weekday. Jesse, we appreciate your time and we look forward to chatting more next week.
Yeah, thanks, Britt. Have a great weekend.
You too.